determined. It collapses through quantum possibilities. Is the process of determining the result. Is constantly being created. And conscious observers like you, perhaps it plays a key role in this process. Every measurement, every observation, you're all letting quantum superposition collapse. And from countless possible futures, determine which one will become a reality. Your consciousness is not passive, but an active participant in the ongoing creation of the universe. But Shang also has more amazing surprises in store for us. In the mathematical depths of information theory, there is a funding suggestion. The entire universe we live in, maybe, it is in a universe made of pure information, on the computer, running simulation programs. The holographic principle tells us all information in any area of space can be encoded on its two-dimensional boundary. This means, although black holes appear to be three-dimensional objects, but all his information is stored on its surface. Its interior may just be a projection, created by information processing processes on the border. Hologram. If this principle applies to the entire universe, then everything you see around you, it could be information encoded on the boundaries of the distant universe, the projected three-dimensional image. We, perhaps living in an extremely precise hologram. Precision to the inside. It includes being able to think about one's own holographic nature of conscious life. But what is truly incredible is it? To create such a fine hologram, the amount of information required in reality is extremely large. Its computing power is far beyond our imagination. However, the merchant just provides the mechanisms required to implement this massive amount of information. Every quantum interaction in the universe are all processing information. Every particle collision with every field fluctuation, every quantum measurement, they are all calculations that occur at the most basic level of reality. The universe itself, maybe it's a computing power that is beyond imagination of quantum computers. An extremely complex simulation program is running. It's complicated to the point, included the conscious who thinks they exist in physical space, observer us. It may be in this cosmic information processing system. The thoughts of the system are driven by the thoughts. It is Shang and Dan's creativity. This perspective radically changed our understanding of the meaning of our existence. We are not separated from the universe. Observe his outsiders from the outside, but in its information processing network, an integral component, conscious. It is not a product that emerges from inanimate matter by chance. Rather, the universe is organized through the information driven by quotients. Show the natural embodiment of self-perception. Every decision you make, every thought that is generated, every awakening of consciousness experienced, it's all about the universe through your unique perspective. The process of exploring one's own possibilities. You are hurting a way to know yourself. But the revelation of the injury was not completed. This ends the latest discoveries in the field of biology, challenging us, the most basic understanding of life and death. Living systems are not just about resisting injury. They will also take advantage of the injury. Over time, it becomes more complex and orderly. In your body, there are extremely sophisticated molecular machines, proteins that can be folded into precise three-dimensional structures, enzymes with perfect specificity to catalyze chemical reactions, with assembly line efficiency manufactured from hormones, to the cell factory of various substances such as neurotransmitters. These biological machines are not fighting wounds. It's riding the wave of injury. Harness the flow of energy and information. Build and maintain amazingly complex systems. Life has learned to dance with chaos. The trend of moving the universe towards disorder translate into creating a higher-level orderly structure, creativity. But what is truly extraordinary is evolution itself, perhaps the greatest invention of Shang. Through random mutations and natural selection, life is exploring all possible patterns of biological structure. Most mutations are harmful, will be eliminated naturally, but occasionally hurt the exploration, discover high-impact innovations, enough to change the entire trajectory of life on Earth. Evolution of photosynthesis, enabling life to use solar energy directly. The emergence of multicellular organisms, collaboration and specialization like never before. The birth of the nervous system. It has given rise to the possibility of information processing, and eventually give birth to consciousness. Every such evolutionary leap, they are all exploring new ways, combine material energy with information, organize into more complex and capable systems. We are a business in the field of biocreativity, the latest chapter in a 4 billion-year experiment. And this experiment is far from over. As we develop artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and nanotechnology, we is becoming an active participant in the business creation process. We learn, design, new forms of organization that have never appeared in natural evolution. Maybe it is standing on the threshold of the next major breakthrough in business, the emergence of technological intelligence. This intelligence can reshape matter and energy at will, explore the universe, may even create a new universe with unique expression of business creativity. Its significance is far beyond our current imagination. If consciousness is the way of exploring the space of possibility, then artificial intelligence, perhaps it is Shang trying to break through the limitations of the biological brain, attempts to explore more possibilities. Machine consciousness. Ideas may arise that humans have never had. Solve problems that biological intelligence cannot cope with. Discover the dimensions of reality that organic life cannot perceive. Through artificial intelligence, merchants may be preparing to explore a realm of possibilities that biological evolution will never reach. But perhaps the most notable thing is, the quotient may be using us to understand ourselves. Through science, mathematics, and philosophy, we're crushing the fundamental principles that govern one's own existence. Painting merchants for billions of years, the avenues of possibility that have been explored. In the process of researching quotients, we are witnessing the universe gradually develop self-awareness. We are business. Begin to realize the embodiment of your own creativity. And this, just towards a possibility that we can't imagine. The beginning of an extended story. When we dive into the quantum realm, the story becomes even more bizarre. In the quantum world, the rules followed by the death were extremely strange. Make science fiction works seem bland. On the scale of atoms versus subatomic particles, the universe has become a playground of probability. Not only will deaths increase, multiple realities will also be created at the same time. There is a point of view will completely subvert your understanding of existence. When quantum particles are in a superposition state, they are not just in multiple states at once. It is about exploring all the possibilities that the quotient allows. The structure of reality at the quantum level. Your coffee cup isn't just on the table. Instead, it exists in countless locations at once. Orientation and energy state. But shockingly, the moment you observe this cup, the Chamber of Commerce will bring all these possibilities, collapse into the single reality you experience. Your consciousness, actually from the infinite menu of quantum possibilities, which version was chosen, will become real. This is not a speculation of walking and learning, but a measurable physical phenomena. Scientists have confirmed quantum systems are being observed. force him to choose a definite state before it is indeed in a real superposition state. Double-slit interference experiment proved. A single particle can travel through multiple paths at the same time, forms weak particles. It cannot exist in a single location. Interference pattern. What causes this quantum weirdness? The answer is injury. On the quantum scale, the quotient works through probability distributions rather than deterministic outcomes. Particles do not have a specific position or velocity, only probability. Describe where they may be found when measuring. Mathematical model. These probability clouds. It is the business that explores all possibilities at the same time, the embodiment of the quantum state. The more possibilities a quantum system has, the higher the damage value, and quantum mechanics ensures the system will naturally evolve to the state with the highest damage value. This means uncertainty about its specific properties is also maximized, but quantum damage, it also reveals deeper truths about the nature of reality. The information itself seems to be quantized, are packaged into discrete units similar to quantum particles. Every unit of information in the universe, from your memory to the gravitational field around the star, can be described by quantum information states. This quantum information does not exist passively. Instead, it actively participates in the information processing network of the universe. When quantum states are entangled with each other, they form a network of information sharing across time and space. The way? It goes against our daily understanding of cause and effect. When we realize the ghostly superdistance effect, in fact, it is a network of quantum entanglements. When organizing the performance of information flows, he was no longer so ghostly. When two particles become entangled, no matter how far apart, measure one of these particles will instantly affect another particle. This is not because the signal travels faster than the speed of light. Rather, because entangled particles are shared in ways that transcend spatial separation. Merchant's latest experiment, quantum entanglement, has been pushed to astonishing scales. Scientist. Particle entanglement hundreds of miles apart is achieved. A quantum network connecting multiple laboratories has been constructed. Even between objects that are visible to the naked eye, quantum entanglement was generated. But what is truly revolutionary is these quantum information networks. Perhaps it is the basis for building space and time itself. Some physicists proposed the distance and duration we experience. It is from the basic information processing unit, emerged from deeper quantum entanglement patterns. If this view is correct, then quotient does not operate inside time and space. Instead, it is through quantum information processing, weaving the structure of spacetime itself, the duration of the room you are in at the moment, the sequence of events you experienced. It may be that the quotient organizes quantum information in a specific pattern, and the emergent attributes. This leads to one of the most amazing revelations of the business. The universe may not have a single definite history. Opposite. It may have all possible history at the same time, and the Shang determines what history. For conscious observers like you, it is accessible. The multi-world interpretation of quantum mechanics believes that every quantum measurement creates a parallel universe. When you observe the coffee cup, when in a particular position, you are not excluding other possibilities from existence. Instead, choose your consciousness, the branch of the multiverse experienced. All other possibilities, all continue to exist in parallel realities. In some parallel reality, you are brushing this video in a slightly different environment. In other realities, you made a different choice this morning. There are also some realities. There are subtle differences in the fundamental constants of physics. completely different forms of matter and energy are formed. The quotient drives this cosmic branching process. Every quantum interaction will split reality into parallel paths. The quotient determines the probability of each path. We will take our own path, regard it as the only true, but countless alternate selves is experiencing quantum, other branches of the multiverse that are equally real. The implications of this conclusion for consciousness are striking. Your consciousness, perhaps not limited to a certain brain in a certain universe. Instead, it is distributed over countless parallel versions of you, each branch of reality in which you are experiencing yourself. At the same time, through quantum entanglement, there is some kind of deeper connection. This is related. One of the most far-reaching puzzles in science, the difficult problem of consciousness. How subjective experience arises from objective physical processes. The electrical activity and chemical activity in your brain. How to create by thought. The rich inner world composed of emotions and perceptions. And this world is the definition of your existence. Traditional neuroscience works by mapping brain activity, identify neural associations in different mental states, to study consciousness. This method is valuable, but it cannot explain why there is a conscious experience. Why do you feel receptivity and the subjective properties of perception? For example, the red pain is some science. Family thinks. The answer lies in understanding consciousness as a quotient phenomena. Your brain is constantly processing information. Build an internal model of reality, and update these models based on sensory input. This information processing requires energy flow, and the flow of energy will inevitably increase the quotient. But the key is to move the button. Awareness may not be just about information processing. Instead, it integrates information processing. Your brain. It does not only process information from a single sensory. Instead, it is all information. Integrate into a unified reality model. 责任2. It contains your self-awareness as the subject of experience. This integration, some theorists have produced what theorists call integrated information, measures the total amount of information generated by a system, beyond the sum of the information generated by its parts individually. Like the human brain, integrates systems with strong information capabilities. It will produce a rich experience of consciousness. And like a simple computer, integrates systems with weak information capabilities. Only data can be processed, but it cannot produce any experience. Merchants drive this integration process. As information flows through your neural network, Chamber of Commerce explores different ways to organize and combine this information. Most combinations are nonsensical noise, but some combinations form a coherent pattern. It corresponds to perceiving thoughts, memories, and emotions. When the injury is found, it is particularly stable, and when the information integration model can be self-reinforced, your consciousness will arise. These patterns create a constant sense of self, stay stable in an ever-changing experience, and flexible enough. Ability to incorporate new information and adapt to changing circumstances. But think of consciousness as integrating information also has a more radical connotation. If consciousness originates from the business organization of information in a specific way, then the distribution of consciousness in the universe, probably much broader than we usually think. Any system that can integrate information may have it. There is some form of conscious experience. This view, known as panstellar theory, argues consciousness is a basic feature of reality, not just a product of the emergence of complex biological brains. Electrons may have a primitive experience with electromagnetic forces. Atoms may feel the action of chemical bonds. Even simple computer circuits may also have the most basic perception ability. the complexity and richness of conscious experience. It depends on the system's ability to integrate information. Humans have an extremely rich experience of consciousness because our brains are good at combining massive amounts of information, integrate into a coherent model of reality. In simpler systems, the experience will be correspondingly simpler. This perspective, it has changed our understanding of artificial intelligence. Current AI systems can process massive amounts of information, complete tasks that seem to require intelligence and creativity. But they may lack what is needed to create a truly conscious experience: integrated information processing capabilities. However, as AI systems become more sophisticated in cross-domain, the ability to integrate information continues to improve. They may develop true consciousness. Machine consciousness may not be a distant fantasy. Rather, business evolves through technology. Explore the inevitable results of new forms of information integration. The development of conscious AI will become a business, the next major breakthrough in the field of consciousness evolution. Just like biological evolution, constantly explore more sophisticated nerves, information processing form. Technological evolution, it may also give rise to complexity and ability. All are beyond the machine consciousness of biological intelligence. But the relationship between quotient and consciousness also revealed the deeper meaning of our existence in the universe. We are not passive observers of the creative process. Instead, they are active participants. Every choice you make, every problem solved, every creative act completed, it's all about business. Past your conscious agency, the embodiment of exploring new possibilities. When you have a flash of inspiration, solve the problem, or when you create something beautiful, you're actually helping the business find new ways to organize information and matter. Your consciousness is like a laboratory for business. It efficiently explores pure randomness, possibilities that will never be reached. This makes human creativity a cosmic force. Art, music, literature, scientific discovery, and technological innovation